Hello, welcome to our third lesson on the usage of the Moog. Today's video is going to be pretty short since I'm only going to be talking about one thing: sequential control. Now, an old analog synthesizer like this Moog is going to have a couple things wrong with it from a modern point of view. First of all, that there's no precise way to control sequence pitch, and second, that there's no precise way to control sequence tempo. That, however, is alright for the most part. We can work our way around that with programs like Recycle or other beat slicing methods. For everyday sampling, though, without such programs, these limitations are something that someone should keep in mind. So instead of creating a pitched sequencer, I'm going to be making a filter sequencer to create a single one-note groove. Here, then, is how that would work. This is the sequencer module on our Moog. There are options to control main tempo, or overall tempo, this knob here called frequency vernier, and there are options to control single note length, which is this row of knobs here. But all I'm going to worry about now is the overall tempo, since the individual note length knobs are pretty imprecise. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn the sequencer on. You can see now it's running. Just like any other sequencer, the lights begin flashing through the series to show me both tempo and the current position of the sequencer. I have the last light, which turns the sequencer off, set to skip so that the value doesn't play and the sequencer loops continuously. So now the sequencer is running, but this doesn't do me much good unless it's connected to something. I'm going to wire in a low-pass filter before the EQ here so that we can work on getting some interesting sounds. A low-pass filter is a good single effect with very noticeable results, as we'll see in a moment. So this is the equalizer, but first I'm going to run in a low-pass filter right here. This is the equalizer that we were using in the last lesson, and the low-pass filter we haven't covered yet, but it can create some very interesting sounds. Now I'm going to hook in the sequencer to control a low-pass filter like so, by placing this output of the sequencer into the control input of the low-pass filter. Now these rows of knobs here, this single row on the top is going to act as though it were this main knob. So whatever position I have these set to is what this will be. By turning these knobs, I can simulate turning that single knob in time with the music. And there we have it. It's that simple. Here's what it sounds like when it's played. And I can change that if I want to. Or rather the speed. And that's about it. Remember that the next time you're using a hardware or software sequencer, and be glad that things have gotten much more precise since the time of the Moog.